Hi everyone, so my name's Mr. Tilsley and I will be your computer science teacher if you choose to take computer science at A level. So the qualification. So you'll be studying a General Certificate of Education in Computer Science. Okay, so our exam board is OCR. So if I was you, before choosing the subject, just make sure you Google OCR A Level Computer Science specification, just to have a look at what we cover and see if it's for you. So the grade range that the qualification offers is A star to E at A level, and it's aimed at anyone regardless of whether you've taken GCSE as computer science or not. So the one thing I will say with that is, if you didn't take GCSE computer science, please come to the intervention sessions. They are there to help you. And it will allow you to be able to access the A levels, the A level content a lot quicker. There is prior learning to be completed before the course. So if you choose the subject, I will register you on Isaac Computer Science, and there will be modules on there that will uplift you to A level. One thing I will say though is, before making this decision, please just make sure you've got a passion for programming and computing. Okay, so you should have a passion for everything to do with computer science rather than just one particular thing. Computer science is a jack of all trades, master of none. So when you've done the course, then you can choose which part of computer science you want to go into, or which area of computer science you want to work in. So for instance, if networking is your thing, then you could do a degree in networking, or you could do a degree in software engineering, or even go and do an apprenticeship in frontline support if fixing things is your forte. So the course is split into 3 parts, and all 3 components are assessed and graded. So the first part is computer systems. So this is looking at your general knowledge about computing. The second part is, or component 2, is algorithms and programming. So this is looking at, okay, so you know about a bubble sort, but how's the bubble sort programmed? What's the advantages of a bubble sort? What's the disadvantages of a bubble sort? And obviously they will assess your programming skills as well. And then finally, we have a programming project. So this is an assessed piece of work. It's a piece of coursework that you will complete during school time and home time. Okay, so it's kind of like joint. You start it at in September of year 2, autumn 1, and then you finish it on the last day of autumn 2. Okay, so you have 16 weeks in which to complete your programming project. Okay, so component 1 is computer systems. So this is basically you memorizing a lot of information and then going into the exam and then regurgitating what you've remembered. This is 40% of the overall grade. So at GCSE it's 50%, but because of the programming project taking 20%, so they're taking 10% off each paper to then give that to the programming project. The exam is 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it is a non-calculator paper, so everything that you do has to be worked out and explained. So this paper covers the characteristics of contemporary processors, input, output and storage devices. So mainly the intricacies of a PC, the hardware, CPU, etc. Software and software development. So we're looking at the different system software that a PC will use, different applications that it will use, and then the software life cycle and such like. Exchanging data, so that will be networking and databases. Data representation, so this is all the maths behind computing. So you look at binary, hexadecimal, and then further onto that you'll start looking at Boolean algebra and Venn diagrams and stuff like that. I would say that if maths is not your strong point, then maybe reconsider taking computer science, because you need a very, very strong maths background in order to cope with data representation. And then finally, legal, moral, cultural and ethical issues. So just to go back to data representation, I'm not expecting you to get a 9 in maths. I'm just expecting you to be able to cope with some of the complex algebra expressions. That's all. And then obviously legal, moral and ethical issues would be similar to those that we studied at GCSE. So that is 40% of the grade. Then we have component 2, which is algorithms and programming. So this is similar to the OCR GCSE paper 2, where you're assessed on the programming elements of the course and your knowledge about the algorithms. So things like bubble sort. Well, how's a bubble sort work? How do you program a bubble sort, etc. This is a 40% again, and it's a written paper. 2 hours 30, and it's non-calculator again. And this covers 3 areas. So elements of computational thinking, problem solving and programming, and then algorithms. So you'll be given scenarios for the computational thinking, and then you just got to break them down. Problem solving and programming. So you will be given Python scenarios, and then you have to obviously program. And then algorithms is telling us how a bubble sort works and how to program a bubble sort, for instance. And then finally you've got the programming project. So like I said, the programming project is 20% of the overall grade. So we complete the programming project in year 2, and it's the first term of year 2 you'll get all of your lessons and homework to complete the programming project. So I would strongly urge you to start thinking about, from day 1 of the course, what you're going to do. Once you've done that, towards the spring term and the summer term, I will then ask you to submit a project proposal. This basically just allows me to make sure that you've thought about the project, you know what you're doing, you've got a plan, and such like. Then I will either agree with it to say that it's it meets the A-level criteria, or decline it with recommendations. So for instance, if you have a quiz, then I would expect an object-oriented quiz, or a game with a graphical user interface, for instance. So just to take it from GCSE to A-level. The programming project does need to be done at school and at home. I'll say that again, it needs to be done at home as well as school. I will only give you a certain amount of time to do it in school, so you need to make sure that you're doing it at home. These are the marks. So as you can see, it's heavily weighted towards the development of the solution. So at GCSE it was more, okay, so how are you breaking the problem down? All of the report, that was a lot of the weight, whereas here, so you got an analysis of the problem, 10 marks. So what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Design is actually breaking the problem down into smaller parts, and then developing it would then be taking those smaller parts and developing them. And then evaluating is what worked, what didn't work, and then how are you going to, what would you do next? So the lessons, the lessons be taught. So they'll be taught at Sir Graham Balfour, and you will have 4 lessons and then 1 twilight lesson. So the way that it currently is broke down is year 12 have 3 lessons on a Tuesday, 2 lessons on a Thursday, and one of those Thursday lessons is a twilight lesson, so it's after school. Year 13 have 4 lessons on Monday and then 1 lesson, a twilight, on Wednesday. Like I said, the autumn term of year 2 will be dedicated towards your programming project. And then spring and summer of year 2 will be getting you ready to sit the 2 exams. The reason why the programming project is just for 1 term is because it's only 20% of the marks, so it only needs 20% of the time. So where can this course take you? So this course will be valid in any university. It's valued by universities because it's shown that, or you have a keen interest for programming, keen interest for networking, keen interest for everything. Like I said, computer science is the jack of all trades, master of none. So you can turn around and say, I took the computer science A-level and I really enjoyed networking. This is the reason why I enjoyed it, this is what I learned, etc. So like it says there, it's valued by universities and employers because it offers analytical thinking and problem solving skills as well. So if you were not to go to uni, you're going to go into work, then you could say, well, I took the computer science course at A-level, this is what I learned. Also for apprenticeships, so if you do decide to go into apprenticeships, if you find an area of computer science that you're really interested in, then you could just take an apprenticeship in that area. So when I first started my degree, my lecturer turned around to me and said that healthcare, so the NHS have got a massive problem with software because they are hemorrhaging money on broken software. So this is, it is a really exciting time to take computer science, really, because the world around us is changing with COVID as well. It's only speeding up the technological advancements that are currently out there. So these are some things that the computer science, my current students say about the course. So this was completely anonymous, and this was open to both year 12 and year 13. There were lots of other comments, but I just didn't have room to put them on. So there you go. So I'll just give you a minute to read those. So the one that I pick out there, learning about network security with a supportive teacher and friendly, relaxed environment. So our course is very academic. It is very, very, very academic. So it's important that the environment is relaxed enough to allow you to explore the subject even further. So I will open a concept, talk about it a little bit, and then let you research and such like. So your knowledge is going further than it would if I was just speaking to you. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions for me about the computer science course, please do email me at ttilsley@sirgrahambalfour.staffs.sch.uk. Any questions at all, relating to the course. But yeah, I hope to see you all in September. Have a really safe, enjoyable time. Cheers.